what your life can truly be. Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be.
Don't know much about history, don't know much biology, don't know much about a science book, don't know much about the French I took, but I do know that I love you, and I know that if you love me too, what a wonderful world this would be.
rapper and Duck Dynasty.
Now I had the time of my life. No, I never felt like this before. Yes, I swear it's a truth, and I owe it all to you.
'Cause I had the time of my life, and I owe it all to you.
I've been waiting for so long now. I found someone to stand by me.
We saw the writing on the wall, and we felt this magical fantasy.
Now with passion in our eyes, there's no way we could disguise secretly. So we take each other's hand, 'cause we seem to understand the urgency. Just remember,
You're the one thing
I can't get enough of.
so I'll tell you something. This could be love because I had the time of my life. I never felt this way before. Yes, I swear it's a truth, and I owe it all to you.
Hey, baby,
With my body and soul, I want you more than you'll ever know.
so we'll just let it go. Don't be afraid to lose control. No.
Yes, I know it's on your mind. You say, stay with me tonight.
Just remember, you're the one thing
I can't get enough of.
so I'll tell you something.
This could be love because I had the time of my life. Never felt this way before. Yes, I swear it's a truth, and I owe it all to you. 'Cause I had the time of my life, and I'll search through every open door till I found the truth, and I owe it all to you.
Had the time of my life. No, I never felt this way before. Yes, I swear it's a truth, and I owe it to you.
Had the time of my life. No, I never felt this way before. Yes, I swear it's a truth, and I owe it all to you. 'Cause I had the time of my life. Searched through every open door.
You could do it, baby.
a fiery ring, bound by wild desire. I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. The taste of love is sweet when hearts like ours meet. I fell for you like a child. Oh, but the fire went wild. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire, the ring of fire, the ring of fire, the ring of fire.
First, when there's nothing but a slow glowing dream that your fear seems to hide deep inside your mind. All alone I have cried silent tears full of pride in a world made of steel, made of stone. Where I hear the music, close my eyes, feel the rhythm, wrap around, take a hold of my heart. What a feeling, keeps me leaving. I can't have it all now, dancing for my life.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2025 College of Arts and Science Annual Recognition Ceremony. Those who are able, please rise as we proudly present the undergraduate degree students. I missed you. I know. We now present our 2025 master's degree students. The distinguished faculty of the College of Arts and Science.
Do you have another announcement? Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, presiding over our ceremony, Dr. Renee Berenstein, Dean of the College of Arts and Science, and members of the Platform Committee. Those who are able, please remain standing and remove your hats for the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Hello, graduates of the class of 2025. It's great to be here with you. With you, your family and friends, both here and online. We are so proud of you. You have inspired us with your passion and your commitment. I know you will carry that passion and commitment forward into your lives and your careers. Today is about you. You have juggled academics, jobs, extracurriculars, service to others, and maybe a social life. Let's recognize some of those achievements. Would all those who are graduating with university honors, departmental honors, and Latin honors please stand as you're able and remain standing. Okay, now don't sit down. I said stay standing. Would all those who participated in research with a faculty member please stand? And if you're already standing, give a fist pump. Stay standing. Stand up if you had an internship. Stand if you were in a service learning course. If you held a job. If you took time off to help a family member. If you studied abroad. If you were a member of a student club or organization. An athletic team. A performing arts group. Now you may all sit down. You have done this and so much more. Each of you in your own unique way has conquered obstacles in order to be here today, and we are proud of all of you. Congratulations. Now, graduates, let's recognize some of the people who helped you get here today, because today is also about them. First, your parents and families, however you define family. Parents, I feel your pride. I'd like to ask the families to please stand or raise your hand as you're able. Wave at your parents. And remember to thank them tonight, too, especially if they pick up the check at dinner. Next, the faculty of the college have been at your side throughout your Miami journey, pushing you to succeed. Would all the faculty please stand as you're able and be recognized? I want especially to recognize those faculty who are retiring this year. They're listed in the program. These 11 faculty served Miami for a combined 435 years of service. This includes tonight's announcer, Bruce Drischel, who alone has served the college for 38 years. I'd like to ask all of the retired faculty, our emeriti who are present, to please rise and be recognized. Next, let me introduce our platform party. I'll ask each person to stand in turn to be recognized, but please hold your applause until all have been introduced. On my right is Barbara Mowry, a 1970 graduate from Miami with a degree in sociology. An experienced corporate executive, Barbara is currently the owner and CEO of Gore Creek Advisors, and she is today's distinguished guest speaker. Dr. Susan Brem, professor of speech pathology and audiology and associate dean. Carolyn Craig, director of inclusive excellence and strategies and initiatives. Bob Davis, associate professor and chair of statistics. Anthony Kofer, Jr., a graduating senior majoring in data analytics with a certificate in geographic information science. Antonio is also a member of my Dean's Student Advisory Council. Maddie Weber, a graduating senior majoring in speech pathology and audiology with a co-major in pre-medical and pre-health studies. Dr. Rosemary Pennington, professor and chair of media journalism and film. Carol O. Lawson, director of the American Culture and English program. On my left, Dr. Cynthia Klestenek, Professor of English and Associate Dean of the Graduate School. Dr. Jennifer Blue, Professor of Physics and Associate Dean. Peyton King, a graduating senior majoring in organizational leadership. She is also outgoing chair of my Dean's Student Advisory Council and today's student speaker. Gail Polhouse, Professor of Philosophy and Associate Dean. Krista Branson, Interim Assistant Dean of Advising. Grace Stewart, a graduating senior majoring in sociology. Dr. Eric Jensen, Associate Professor in the Department of History. Mr. Fred Reeder, Jr., Associate Clinical Lecturer in the Department of Media, Journalism, and Film. This comprises our platform party. Finally, I'd also like to recognize and thank the following people. Our pianist, Treva Boardman. Our two student vocalists, Maddie Irwin and Mary Goodney. Our two American Sign Language interpreters, Grace Sherman and Veronica Millette. It's now my pleasure to introduce our student commencement speaker. Peyton King is a graduating senior from Marysville, Ohio, majoring in organizational leadership. She has also obtained minors in both human capital management and leadership and Latin American studies. She completed all of her academic requirements in just 3 years. Very nice. Peyton says that she chose Miami, entering without a declared major, because it was the only place that felt like home. She settled on her organizational leadership major after exploring a variety of different classes her first semester. As chair of my Student Advisory Council, Peyton has been a wonderful resource for other students and myself, helping me create an ongoing dialogue with the CAS student community to understand what's on their mind. During her second year at Miami, Peyton obtained an internship with the Walt Disney Company in Orlando, Florida, where she discovered her interest in hospitality management and food and beverage operations. This experience has led her to her first job after Miami, in which she will become a unit director for Waffle House Columbus. Please join me in welcoming Peyton King.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. When I started writing this speech, I stared at a blank Google Doc for what felt like forever. The only words I had were, "Hello, everyone." And that was it. And honestly, it felt kind of perfect, because how do you capture your entire college experience in just 5 minutes? I couldn't even tell you what I did last week in 5 minutes. That uncertainty reminded me a lot of how I felt when applying to colleges. I've lived in Ohio my entire life, and all I knew back then was that I wanted to get far away from here. I looked at schools across the country and had a list narrowed down, but nothing felt right. Then my parents made me go to Make It Miami. I told them it was going to be a wasted 2-hour drive, and spoiler, it wasn't. As soon as I stepped onto campus, something just clicked. I felt seen. I felt like I could actually be myself. Miami had a place for everyone, and that click, that feeling of belonging, changed everything for me. That was the moment I knew that this would be my new home. That was also the day that I met Nancy Stewart from the Student Success Center, who would go on to support me through every twist and turn and help me graduate in just 3 years. I truly would not be here today without her. Now, standing here, at the end of it all, I'm feeling that same mix of excitement and nerves. Maybe you are too. There's a lot ahead: new jobs, new cities, new people, and new versions of ourselves. And once we walk out of here today, we may never be in the same room with all these same people again. That's a hard reality, but it's also what makes this moment so special. Miami has given us more than just knowledge. It's given us a new lens through which we see the world, a lens shaped by professors who challenged us, friends who became family, late nights in King, walks through campus in every season, and moments that reminded us of who we are. We've all done our own thing here, found our own paths. Some of us took the straight route, while others zigzagged, and some of us got a little lost before finding our way. But we all made it. We kept going, one foot in front of the other. So if you're feeling unsure about what's next, or wondering if you're ready, or missing the comfort of the routine, just remember the strength that it took you to get here today. When you're out in a new city with new people doing scary but exciting things, think back to how you made it through Miami. We are prepared, we are ready. With the knowledge that we have gained and the resilience that we have built, there is no limit to what we can achieve next. Now, the world becomes our teacher, but we'll always carry what we learned here, from the endless days studying to the uptown nights. From one day, we were told love and honor, and that phrase would mean something different at every stage of life. But for me, right now, it means being proud of where I've been and grateful for those who helped me get here, like Nancy Stewart and Madeline Hood, and hopeful for what comes next. So here's to the unknown, to making new friends in new places, and to always remembering Miami. Thank you, love and honor.
Hold up. Thank you, Peyton, and we wish you the very best. Let's give her another round of applause. I now have the great pleasure of welcoming Barbara Mowry as our 2025 guest speaker. Barbara graduated from Miami with a degree in sociology in 1970. After leaving Miami, she entered the corporate world and began working her way up through management ranks. She went on to obtain an MBA from the University of Minnesota's Carlson School of Management, and then she launched a successful career as a corporate executive, an intrapreneur and entrepreneur, and corporate board member, on her way to her current role as owner and CEO of Gore Creek Advisors, a strategic business consulting firm. As a former senior executive in Fortune 500 companies, Barbara is a wonderful example of the power of serendipity. She used her Miami education to seize the opportunities that arose, however diverse or unpredictable. The winner of numerous awards, she has founded, managed, and advised several public and private corporations, raised significant venture capital, and led both business-to-business and business-to-consumer focused companies. We're honored to have Barbara address us today as our guest speaker. Please join me in welcoming Barbara Mowry to the podium.
Thank you, Dr. Berenstein. It is wonderful to be back at this magnificent university. The first year after I left Miami, I found myself on an airplane one day, and there was this gorgeous woman in first class. She was probably in her early 80s, had beautiful white hair, beautiful blue suit, was reading a book quietly, and she got up and go to the bathroom and came out, and one of the flight attendants went into the bathroom and immediately burst out laughing. And seeing this, the other flight attendant was curious, went into the bathroom, same reaction. Our elegant little lady in first class had taped towels over the window in the bathroom. We're 36,000 feet in the air, going 550 miles an hour. Who did she think was in that bathroom? And who carries tape in their purse? She was totally prepared for this. Well, I know this story because I was one of those flight attendants. I was working that trip. Now, you might be wondering, what was I doing as a flight attendant after my graduation from Miami with my arts and science degree? Well, I have three perspectives on an arts and science degree. Number one, I have one. Number two, our daughter Jessica has one as a double major in English and Spanish. And number three, I have been responsible for hiring thousands of people throughout my career, many of which have had an arts and science degree. Now, my own career path has not exactly been a straight line. From pouring Diet Coke in 36,000 feet, So serving as an executive in, as you heard, in 3 Fortune 500 companies. I've been an entrepreneur and CEO at 4 startup companies. I've served on public and private company boards. I've done a lot of philanthropy work, including public service work as board chair of the Kansas City Federal Reserve. So along that way, I have learned a lot. For example, when I was at the Fed, I learned that God made economists to make people that forecast the weather look good. You econ majors, it's a difficult job, but we really need you right now. Like many of you, I remember sitting there asking myself the question that so many people were asking me at the time: what am I going to do with this arts and science degree? People are wondering. Well, more on that in a minute, but let me share 4 lessons of the many that I've learned along the way that maybe as you leave Mother Miami, at least what we used to call it back then, as you launch from Mother Miami, you can keep with you. Because there's no sundials with turtles anymore. You're not going to get good luck the way you did here. So let me tell you. The first one is how critical it is to be a lifelong learner. It can be your absolute biggest advantage. So after I graduated, I initially thought I was going to go get my PhD. And I was all enrolled in a program, and I decided to defer the PhD and do the next logical thing. As you heard, I became a flight attendant. That's a long story over a beer, which we won't do right now, but it was one of the best decisions I ever made, because flying at 36,000 feet in the air, pouring drinks for somebody who thought the turbulence we were experiencing was my personal fault, I learned a lot. Diplomacy, patience, empathy. The ability to balance, I knew I had the ability to balance 3 cups of coffee while negotiating a peace treaty between 21 A and B over seat rests. I learned how I responded under pressure. My flying partners and I, one day, a 9-month-old baby stopped flying mid-flight, and we saved his life. And believe me, you don't have time to think about read the manual when you're in those situations. I learned the value, how critical it was, the training of frontline employees. I give all the credit to the training we had in safety as a flight attendant. And I was exposed to all kinds of new people and perspectives. I met all kinds of famous people, actors, actresses, writers, athletes, you name it. And I traveled all over the world. I was very fortunate because that's part of my job. And I learned a lot about diversity of culture and especially diversity of thought and how critical it is. My message is every role you have, even ones that are not your dream job maybe, is going to teach you something. In your lifetime, you're going to see an absolute explosion of all kinds of new things that you can't even imagine right now. Believe me, when I was in your shoes, I never thought I would be running an artificial intelligence company or talking about quantum computing or medical breakthroughs like CRISPR, organ transplants, the internet, cell phones, space travel, renewable energy. I mean, it is so long. And you're going to see even more because the pace of change is so much faster even than during my lifetime. So continuous learning is really important. But your ability, you may forget the facts that you learned at Miami, and they may be irrelevant. But continuous learning, that is timeless. So stay curious and stay open. Be a sponge. It's going to serve you incredibly well in your career. Second point, show up for others and especially pay attention to the cultures that you join or the cultures that you create over time. Eventually, I earned my MBA instead of my PhD and was hired by United Airlines as a fleet planner after graduate school. Now, a fleet planner is a very strategic role in an airline because you try to figure out what the fleet should look like, and of course, every aircraft purchase has to go to the board of directors. So I was 27 at the time, and my boss's boss, Colin, was reviewing my plan that I had put together after 7 months of work on this big project. And he said, all right, we're now ready to go to the board. And Barbara, I want you to present this to the board of directors. I was 27. I was completely shocked. The only people in that company at the time that ever presented to the board were vice presidents and above. And I was hardly in that role. Well, before the board meeting, the night before, there was always a board dinner, and I was invited to the board dinner. And I was seated between the CEO and one of the board members, Neil Armstrong. That Neil Armstrong. I think they thought I needed adult supervision big time. So I'm sitting there in this meeting and at this dinner, and I thought, I asked Neil Armstrong, I said, here you were sitting on top of this spaceship. You were getting ready to go to the moon and try to walk on the moon, something that no human has ever done. Weren't you nervous? And he looked at me and smiled, and he said, of course I was nervous. Here he was sitting on top of this spaceship, made of millions of parts, all of whom I knew were made by the lowest bidder. Well, he said that. So I learned that everybody has a different risk tolerance. He certainly had a higher one than I did. But think about it for a minute. He also trusted the culture of NASA and the culture of the people that he worked with his life. So the next day, I gave my presentation to the board. Fortunately, it went very well. But as I had walked into the boardroom, the CEO started introducing me and saying, isn't it wonderful, we finally have women in the boardroom. They're going to give this amazing presentation. It adds dignity to the board meeting. He went on and on for 5 minutes. So I was a nervous wreck, and now I'm representing half the population. So it didn't make it any better. But what I learned, here's the real point, back to Colin. He sponsored me. He took a risk on me. He got me a seat at the table. That was sponsorship before it was a thing. And it completely changed my life. Do that when you have an opportunity in your career with somebody else. Pay it forward. Culture matters. The right culture sponsors people. It trusts people. It helps them fly, sometimes literally. Third point, you can't control what happens to you in most cases, but you absolutely can control how you react to it. And focus on those things that you can control. Well, after the tech bubble burst in the 90s and a lot of technology companies went out of business, it was very difficult to raise venture capital. But I was being recruited to be CEO of a very tiny startup, 11 employees. They needed funding, and it was an AI company in the business-to-business space. And this was back in the early 90s, before anybody even knew what AI was. So all my friends told me, absolutely don't take that job. You'll never raise the money. Nobody understands what you're talking about. Bad timing. Don't do it. Well, I did it. I took it anyway. I made 59 pitches to venture capital firms, and 59 times I was told no. Now, it's very hard to not take that personally. And when somebody's calling your baby ugly, which is how I interpreted it, or to think, why are they so stupid? Of course this is a great idea. Why can't they see this? That's not going to do any good. That's not going to help me raise the money. So I tried to focus on the things I could control. How was I presenting it? I listened to them. I pivoted. I tried a different approach. And on number 60, we got the funding. Not only did we get the funding, we got a great partner that helped us build a great business. And that company ended up being bought by one of the largest software companies in the world. I learned that failure isn't the opposite of success. Grit and resilience are often the secret ingredient. Don't forget that. Back to my flight attendant days, I can recall when I was on a flight and there was a very famous person in first class that whose name you would know. And whenever I or one of the other flight attendants asked her a question, she would turn to her bodyguard sitting next to her and she would say, please tell them I would like. She would never look at us and never talk to us directly. She made me and everybody else feel invisible, and I never forgot that feeling. Years later, when I became a CEO and I was in a position to hire executives, I would always take them out for dinner. I wanted to see how they treated the wait staff. I wanted to understand how they treated the driver, how they treated the receptionist in our company. Character is often revealed when you think no one's looking or in a crisis. Treat people the way you want to be treated. It will serve you well. And the final point, whenever you're thinking about what to do in your life, go to something, not just away from something. Yes, you're going to find roles that are not the best fit, or you're not happy, maybe you've outgrown them, and you want to do something else. Don't just leave where you are. Make sure you're going to something. The way I sorted that out is I developed something I called my inner compass. And over time, and you will develop one for yourself, over time it revealed to me that I really was motivated by big ideas, continuous learning, being around really smart people, collaborative environments that had the same values I did, and I loved innovation. And I had a toolkit of skills that I had been developing. And that toolkit, like problem solving, grit and resilience, good communication skills, collaboration, I knew how to execute things and actually get things done. All of that foundation was laid when I got my liberal arts degree at Miami. I give all the credit back to that foundation and the way I learned about how to learn. So here's my advice. Ask for what you want. Nobody can read your mind. Be brave, be specific, be persistent. Ask to be in the room. Ask for the job. Ask for the challenge. Winston Churchill once said that success is not final, failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. So speak up. So class of 2025, I don't think your path has to make sense to anybody but you. It's okay if your journey looks like a jungle gym, certainly mine did, as opposed to a straight line. And remember, your liberal arts education, in my opinion, is your superpower, because you've been trained to think critically, to question, to communicate, to understand the human experience, and God knows we need people that can understand that now. So keep learning, show up for others, choose cultures that align with your values. And when you get the chance, say someone's name that's not in the room. Invite them in the room. That's how we rise, and that's how we change systems. So back to that question, what can you do with an arts and science degree? Any damn thing you want. That's what you can do. You're ready. You're needed. I can't wait to see what you're going to do next. And my final thought is, next time you're on an airplane, look out the window and smile. Because the world is filled with opportunity. It's very open, and you never know who's going to be looking in that window. Congratulations, class of 2025. Love and honor.
Thank you, Barbara. You're a wonderful example of why, no matter your story or personal background or academic major, CAS means careers. Okay, we're going to get to the important part now. Our focus of our ceremony today is recognizing our graduates. In a minute, I will ask the graduates to come forward, receive their diploma cover, have their name read, and cross the stage to receive our congratulations. But first, this is important. I know as your graduate's name is read, you're going to want to cheer and celebrate. But if you do it too loudly, the family of the next graduate will not be able to hear the name of that student. So please hold your applause and celebration until all names have been read. At that time, we will give you plenty of time to celebrate. This is just as important. I want to ask our graduates to return to their seats once they have received diploma covers and remain in attendance out of respect for your fellow students. There's lots of time to celebrate after. I know you've got dinner reservations. They can wait a minute. This is very important. I know many of you had remote or outdoor ceremonies for high school graduations. Let's make this one a good one. Now, it is with great pride that I present to you the graduates of the College of Arts and Science. To start us off, I'd like to call to the podium Dr. Cynthia Klestenek to present our master's degrees recipients.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Graduate School, it is my honor to acknowledge the accomplishments of our students here today who've completed their graduate programs of study. Will all the candidates for a master's degree please stand if able? I have the pleasure to present the candidates for the master's degree. The master's degree requires a minimum of 30 credit hours of coursework and scholarly activities beyond the baccalaureate degree. These rigorous programs prepare our graduates to enter the workforce as advanced professionals or for further academic study. With the approval of the graduate faculty, each of these candidates has completed all of the requirements for her, his, or their degree, and I present them to you with pride. The marshals will now escort the candidates to the platform so that we may recognize their academic achievement and so that Dean Berenstein and I can congratulate them.
Jacqueline Marie Stewart.
Nicole Sarah Soto.
Sydney Elizabeth Lewis.
Julia Marie Oxales Albejesa.
Elizabeth Marie Lepsky.
Sophia Grayson Taylor.
Elizabeth Lauren Roberts.
Emma Claire Laborowski.
Grace Catherine Koenig.
Sophie Esposito.
Caroline Ann Oakley.
Ashley Cabrera.
Kiera Nicole Johnson.
Victoria Nimi Lopez Rangel.
Emily Claire Ritvatsky.
Tain Tao Nguyen.
Omar Nurazate.
Sumaya Rahman.
Rebecca Jeanette Strauch.
Diasha Chowdhury.
Thomas Joseph Grakus.
Simon Atoyeri.
Lily Harper Ryan.
Michael Okanta.
Danae Marie Jones.
Oliver Yalui.
Tiffany Walters.
Isaac Botong Numoa.
Bailey Aaron Doctorow.
Assad Ullah.
Sarah Reuter.
Valerie Sarai Hernandez Godinez.
Shelby Nicole Pruitt.
Annabelle Deschamps.
Madison K. Hartley.
Rainey Fisher Zimmerman.
G. Alejandro Gomez.
Ross Kohler.
Gular Ismailova.
Kayla Imakni Belser.
Ainsley Laura Helling.
Ella Justin Shills.
Ashley Jean Longbottom.
Mary Louise Nelson.
Lindy Michelle Helwigan.
Zainab Kolo Yusuf.
Kaylee Ari Gomez.
Ivy Nora Ofori.
Aisley Ann Carpenter.
Uswa Arshad.
Jacob Daniel Matson.
Shumaila.
Catherine Stacy Antonowich.
Hawa Abiola Adedo.
Constance Marie Kammerer.
Alexander James Leonard.
Morgan Elizabeth Kovach.
Bikash Thakur.
Lily Morgan Kleinsmith,
Jonathan Lewis Waldman,
Slade Thomas Leszewski,
Weijiao Wang,
Pius Kwabena Apo,
Griffin Paul Chadwick,
Roni Abia Oshing,
Jason Anthony Abley,
Prince Obosu,
Autumn Elizabeth Atto,
Emily Beth Coleman,
Elena Morgan Sukup,
Laurel Madison Myers,
Felicia Gabriela Guayardo,
Jennifer Marianne Ulmer,
Grace Evelyn Kemmerly,
Rachel Elaine Patterson,
John Alexander Moore,
Elijah Jackson Walter,
Hina Ali,
Troy Joseph Parks,
Shrishti Shretha,
Ian Joseph Weber,
Kevin Wynn,
Samuel Dean Humphrey,
Benjamin Fraser Nagel,
Cassandra Mackenzie Hawk,
Eckhart Alexander Karsten,
Ethan Scott Chapman,
Lakshan Don Manuel Gay Don Lakshan,
Ryan Andrew McCollum,
Irvin William Snyder IV,
Colin Martin Smith,
Nathaniel James Price,
Jingjing Bao,
Nissan Umgan,
Ilana Vinnick,
Aseka Vata,
Hannah Leah Schultz,
Harishni Sunil,
Viren Vinay Gadkari,
Henry Bala,
Nicholas Alexander Baroon,
Alexander Nebergal,
Jen Renee Justice,
Noah Carson Evans,
Ahmed Dankwa,
Aaron R. Mueller,
Tochukwu Jonathan Okoli,
Lori Marie Kirkland,
Larisha Tuladar,
Beatrice Opong,
Solène Emily Julie Cotier,
Rachel Vies,
Eleanor Tierney,
Kaylee Seeley,
Samuel Albert Glover,
Chloe Atwood,
Marta Fioretti,
Deep Achira, Matthew Kevin Brunn, Jackson Reed Cleghorn, Madison Mary Bostick, Matthew James Reich, Erin Elizabeth Smith.
Now I'd like to ask our 4 platform party students, Peyton King, Antonio Cofer Jr., Maddie Weber, and Grace Stewart, to come forward and receive their diplomas.
Peyton Christine King,
Antonio Marcus Cofer Jr.,
Grace Cecilia Stewart,
Madeline K. Weber,
Marshals, please now direct all of our undergraduate degree recipients to the stage so we can honor their achievement. It's going to take a little bit.
Okay, let me. In remembrance of Kathleen May Scott.
Jenna Patrice Hartman.
Evan J. Mullinex.
Abigail Catherine Lyons.
Nicholas Raymond Yanuk.
Teddy Bray Maloney.
Jacob Thomas Wasson.
Grace Margaret Shelley.
Peter Emmanuel Spelta IV.
Demetra Doreen Lagios.
Jacob Alexander Shipley.
Jack Scott Mueller.
Madeline Bidinger Irvin.
Samuel James Fiala.
Allison Ludwina Globus.
John David Cioli.
Catherine Faye Longo.
Alexander Thomas Lepper.
Riley Danielle Collinsworth.
Leah Page Steinbrecker.
Alexis Page Howard.
Madeline Dorothea Moser.
Heather Grace Oberg.
Declan James LaGrange.
Thomas Grant Leslie.
Abigail Marie Remlinger.
Brigham Ross Young.
Charles Robert Kane.
Christine Ann Emanuele.
Nolan Christian Meyer.
Juliana Adele Cooper.
Cal Joseph Thompson.
Cecilia Diane Fuentes Remington.
Seth Thomas Martin.
Kirsten Ashley Cobb.
Bradley Thomas Ratcher.
Reagan Claire Bobrink.
Gordon Eugene Gray.
Ella Grace Ford.
Jack Cady.
Max Edward Hoffman.
Eric Matthew Galauner.
Kyle Matthew Kuplick.
Nicholas Alexander Arazzini.
John William Pacific Anderson.
Mara Neota McKinney.
Brandon Charles Elliott.
Ramsey Lene Smith.
Ava Gabrielle Fensky.
Anna Christine Valender.
Kaylee Ann Gibson.
Jessica Elizabeth Rush.
Jayla Henley Ann Allen.
Adele Marie Frayne.
Abigail Mariana Rainier.
Claire Dorothy Ann Leonard.
Aaron Davis Barr.
Catherine Claire Sullivan.
Ian Andrew Barta.
Molly Jane Kirsch.
Joshua Ryan Barker.
Kaya N. Mendocha.
Garrett Joseph Fenton.
Aiden Charles Shires.
Jake Darren Glassberg.
Anna Marie Medina.
Chloe Anne-Marie Waddle.
Emily Roxanne McWilliams.
Savannah Rose Evans.
Aiden J. Schacht.
Adrian Joseph Dooley.
Emma Faye Halcomb.
Avery Lynna Huff.
Carolyn Grace Vosmick.
Carlos Luis Correa.
Kylie Ann Dennison.
Quentin Hennock.
Brianna Mackenzie Long.
Jacob Bradley Goheen.
Kendall Louise Foreign.
Charles Joseph Kennedy.
Autumn Marie Allen.
Lauren Andy Feekins.
John James Vovis.
Emily Rose Hollingsworth.
Jose M. Bandera.
Asil R. El Saleh.
Sarah Kathleen Cotillo.
Jeremy Jurgensen.
Abigail Rebecca Gray.
Elizabeth Aline Smith.
Elizabeth Hollingberry Corper.
Jessie Lynn Beiser.
Lucy Kate Mansfield.
Patrick Xavier Bruckwick.
Katie Ann McDonald.
Carson Lane Custis.
Melissa Teresa Marchetti.
Chelsea Jean Fall.
Avery Ann Sees.
Sophia S. Sekulov.
Alexandra Marie Lindblad.
Campbell Hope Macy's.
Ella Catherine Melcher.
Abigail Grace Nelson.
Ellie Grace Lichtenberg.
Skylar Jane Goldstone.
Koi Zhang Min Nguyen.
Carson Ann Powell.
Min Con Trang.
Emily Marie Martin.
Nien Pham Vinh Nguyen.
Matthew Logan Heilizer.
William Riley McMillan.
Trenton James Irwin.
Gregory David Rubo.
Julian Benedict Martin.
Amelia Ann Major.
Benjamin Thomas Hunchar.
Theo Wessel Sowers.
Samantha Noel Sakudi.
Isabella Marie Roberts.
Sean Patrick Melligan.
Megan Elizabeth McGuire.
Andrew James Bowman.
Kennedy Kelly O'Reilly.
Riley Thomas Box.
Riley Ann Peterson.
Sean Michael Brennan.
Madison Page McKnight.
Diego Steitzel Pareja.
Marissa Ann Ray.
Harrison Michael Jones.
Meredith Ann McGinty.
Samuel Joseph Mattingly.
Hallie Elizabeth Dykstra.
Michael Allen Everson.
Charlotte Olivia Luzak.
Alexander L. Sargent.
Caroline Ann Rao.
Alexander Walter Richowski.
Dylan Danielle Connors.
Drew Michael Kern.
Sophia Catherine Kwiatkowski.
Harrison Robert Hodgkins.
Elena Renee Fitch.
William Mark Augustinelli.
Jalen Elizabeth Stewart.
Nathan James Barber.
Caleb Dimitri Tubbs.
Alan William Graver.
Elijah Robert Blakey.
Jackson Vogen.
Alexander Matthew Steffen.
Ellie Trisha Nickel.
Sophia Milena Riebel.
Nora Kathleen Huntley Gilger.
Lauren Nicole Welt.
Emily Kristen Helsted.
Braden Xavier Gluntz.
Sarah Elaine Mueller.
Madison Ashley Peckman.
Bryn Maryruth Himovitz.
Araya Marie Spangler.
Brooklyn Marie Hall.
Stephanie Maria Stalzer.
Jack Raymond Hoffman.
Kaya Lee Heitkamp.
Kirsten Abigail Williams.
Cameron Willis Morrison.
Alexa Bryn Hennep.
Sydney Marie Steketty.
Madison Michelle DeLong.
Isabella Nicole Clapwick.
Emma Deborah Canode.
Catherine Meredith Palmer.
Kaylee Lynn Bloomer.
Morgan McCall Ryan.
Maria Christine Vina.
Luke McDonald Valensky.
Molly Francis Blue.
Ian Andrew Murray.
Macy Garin Adams.
Angeles Lily Buck.
Charlotte Bell Hardigan.
Hannah Alexandra Sauer.
Lily Frances Waldman.
Hannah Malin McManaway.
Riley Kristen Falk.
Kit Elizabeth Burlington.
Alexa Lee Hall.
Mia Renee Lowry.
Ava Elizabeth Borough.
Madison K. Daniel.
Madison Taylor Owens.
Quinlan Lorraine McGee.
Megan Marie Solis.
Emily Ann Vanderhoff.
Ethan Young Egbert.
Minnie Cecilia Warfield.
Dominic M. Krapulik.
Caroline Marie Pick.
Audrey Bliss Guim.
Gabriella Michelle Tavallato.
Samuel Matthews Davis.
Elena Rose Kaptaraski.
Lauren Victoria Casamento.
Madeline Marie Cooper.
Abigail Grace Howard.
Emily Marissa Lytle.
Sarah Amy Liebisch.
Joshua Miguel Bircher.
Jocelyn Elaine Jones.
Megan Elizabeth Rollison.
Megan Joanne Gruber.
Anna Rose Durr.
Caleb Sabyuk Chun.
Sanders Grace Oliver Miss.
Letha Irene Blair.
Ava Marine Gruss.
Leah Isabel Vanzale.
Taylor Marie Keel.
Emma Claire Nefriel.
Dominic Thomas Delapina.
Heather Michelle Shermantero.
Connor David Tackett.
Liam James Ray.
Colin Kenneth Quinn.
Spencer Thomas Burns.
Gavin James Price.
Julia Marie Jacobs.
Reagan Jeanne Sparks.
Lauren Kathleen Combs.
Sophia Rose Demos.
Brooke Allison Dalton.
Chloe Mia Emberton.
Ashley Lennon Brockman.
Margaret Hawk Maloney.
Zachary Nathan Abrams.
Fraser Richard David Thorpe.
Anna Kathleen Godrow.
Daniel Mark Malika.
Morgan Elise Simon.
Daniel Hackett Rasher.
Declan Thomas Brennan.
Ellis Zachary French.
Ronald Earl Erskine III.
Madison Claire Waite.
Aiden James Bailey.
Kirsten Delaney Thomas.
Brian Andrew Maxey.
Riley Pierce Palanca.
Charles Daniel Golsky.
Tyler Dean Peace.
Clark Quan.
Trey Ethan Featheringham.
Veronica Huiyun Hoffman Bifus.
Zoe May Foster.
Aaron Panchula.
Lilia Grace Terrell.
Sophia Wehan Bick.
Courtney O'Donoghue Lee.
Catherine Marie Keeley.
Alexander Grant Wood.
Madison Elizabeth Kopp.
Anjali Ranji.
Morgan Simone Ross.
Zachary Lucas Swinney.
Alexandra Ashley Corcoran.
Paige Adair Renchler.
Chloe Rose Southard.
Catherine Christina Ann Okeson.
Jacob Richard Coughlin.
Caroline Grace Yeager.
Hannah Grace Hemmerline.
Ethan Kyle Ladd.
Rajan Gubanyor.
Michael Anthony Robusto.
Grace Kathleen Regan.
Samuel Howard Mezzapelli.
Lily Claire Downs.
Olivia Grace Lutz.
Emily Rose Davis.
Evan Stafford Usher.
Madeline Grace Silva.
Ian Charles Smith.
Chloe Isabella Gill.
Henry Stosh Oliver.
Alexandra Nicole Butler.
Lucas Bradley Cameron.
Addison Essex Farthing.
Jack Avery Shoemaker.
Bennett Paul Forshner.
Frank Robert Munifo.
Samuel Robert George.
Anna Elizabeth Finkel.
Una Marian.
Hope Taylor Bishop.
Molly Elizabeth Duffy.
Marilyn Grace Wilson.
Margaret Ann Sullivan.
Sydney Marie Davidson.
Anna Catherine Shea.
Megan Taylor Harrison.
Lila Taylor Fitzgerald.
Ethan Daniel Smith.
Mia Frances Breitenbach.
Samuel Brian Webb.
Carolyn Grace Kennelly.
Austin Jason Goldberg.
Julia Nicole Evans.
Aiden Francis Riley.
Morgan Haley Chagrin.
Eli Barrett Weiler.
Kristen Elizabeth Brasky.
Orion Michael Bay.
Catherine Schuyler Jessup.
Hang on. Jacob Andrew Clary.
Leela Morgan Schaefer.
Grayson Dalton.
Madeline Rose Matosic.
Ashley Hope Noel.
Jenna Noel Johnson.
Nicole Sue Korn.
Megan Marie Wren.
Sean David Bryson.
Taylor Mills Lang.
Sydney Ellen Kent Strong.
Corey Nicole Croniker.
Mary Kathleen Lurch.
Jenna Lee Hughes.
Madison Ann Miner.
Hannah Helene Maitland.
Sabrina Leah Longbreak.
Ryan Mabry Jacobs.
Sadie Elizabeth Duber.
Zain Mohammed Alhailu.
Elizabeth Nancy Smith.
Cameron Christopher Johnson.
Thank you. Elizabeth McGuire Schaefer.
Emma Zoe Hillary.
Sarah Catherine Smith.
Alexa Grace Tiedoff.
Aiden John McLaughlin.
Lydia Elizabeth Monteroso.
Jack Thomas Hilly.
Elena Ann Winslow.
Abigail Christine Benjamin.
Michelle Christine Mancini.
Isabella Grace Butler.
Thank you. Catherine Unila Shaw.
Nora Evelyn Marie Lumsden.
Mia F. Dietz.
Grace Elizabeth Rohrbacher.
Elizabeth Kenny Bartoshowski.
Mallory Lucille Groth.
Vera Alexandra Anderson.
Arden Swope.
Catalin Patricia Balo.
Caitlin Bailey Crapsey.
Samantha Rose Demuzio.
Zoe Isabel Mervis.
Emma Caroline Chamberlain.
Elizabeth Ann Nankervis.
Aubrey Sue Bolte.
Owen Patrick Southworth.
Anna Elizabeth Detzel.
Sebastian Usel Ramirez Rodriguez.
Amanda Lauren Feltz.
Stephen Eugene Pepper.
Kaylee Ann Conradi.
Julia Lee Loraz.
Diego Daniel Smith.
Kiara Grace Archer.
Jacob Lipman.
Carly Jordan Zavila.
Natalie Ann Shorey.
Gianna Copeland LaMontoya.
Avery Lauren Houghton.
Allison Taylor Peachman.
Elizabeth Christine Lobb.
Brooke Linda Painter.
Sydney Aaron Butler.
Alexis Lee Humphrey.
Owen Michael McCrate.
Sarah Catherine Toth.
Alyssa Noel Velasco.
Taylor Cameron Vargo.
Patrick Gull.
Garrett A. Shulkers.
J. Reddy Gadam.
Katerina Nicole Urick.
Mercedes Nicole Schreier.
Margaret Ann Snee.
Sarah Dev.
Adeline Olivia Taylor.
Cassandra Lynn Herman.
Anna Catherine Reed.
Haley Reese Harrison.
Sarah Elizabeth Morrow.
Alexandria Elise Schultz.
Madison Elizabeth Shenago.
Brianna Leonie Hunt.
Allison Elizabeth Dixon.
Emma Madison Doherty.
Raven Marie Bennett.
Jessica Ann Lunt.
Eliza S. Butler.
Stephen Allen Schisler.
Nicole Elizabeth Fiss.
Scott Edward Polumsky.
Madison Adeline Slocher.
Andrew Joseph Mathias.
Seth Michael Koger.
Joseph Connor Staten.
Nathan Wayne Matuzak.
Peter John Cayley.
Sarah Antoinette Warder.
Zachary Ian Green.
Bridget Elizabeth Conran.
Jackson Vaughn Gunn.
Samuel Isaac Olson.
Arden Olivia Noblet.
Jonathan Henry Deep.
Caitlin Ann Mesher.
Colin Patrick Ween.
Robert John Imlay IV.
Peter David Outcolt.
Ryan Edward Gates.
Darius Kazad Sentna.
Hans Gerhard Clem.
Richard Morgan Bullock.
Jackson Ballard Gentry.
Aidan Gregory Bauman.
Dogan Stanley Marag Foster.
Nathan Miles Bernard.
Matthew William Hales.
Austin Kenneth Turner.
Reed Bennett Mann.
James Charles Verigi.
Pietro Lasna Discolia.
Gabriel Thomas Powell.
Dylan Justin Stoya.
Brady Matthew Surikov.
Elena Renee Jones.
Anna Rose Marr.
Jessica Marie Guilfoyle.
Cami Jada Castaneda.
Addie Irene Price.
Savannah Maria Smith.
Adrian Arakis.
Julia Pagan.
Lily Derzinski.
Abigail Marie Kerr.
Natalie Ann Fry.
Merritt Jane Ellis.
Carly Jane Stefanik.
Brooklyn Elizabeth Brush.
Alex Nicole Lofton.
Annie Catherine Pearson.
Abigail Catherine Carlson.
Grace Ellen Holian.
Caitlin Marie Bush.
Ella Elizabeth Connard.
Gabriella Caroline Putt.
Emily Marie Pickle Antonio.
Mandy Marie Holliday.
Emma Marie White.
Catherine Dufour Fitzgerald.
Thank you. Alexis Nicole Strazanti.
Celine Rashinda Norris.
Allie Catherine Palmer.
William Charles Connell.
Macy James Patton.
Cole William Ginocchio.
Caroline Elizabeth Walsh.
Alexander Antonio Andalcio.
Riley Ann Hemingway.
Magnus Llewellyn Hayes.
Catherine Jane Trace.
James Lawrence Chittum.
Michael James Mayer.
Jalen Marie Hawkins.
Eliana Paige Stevens.
Jenna Catherine Burrows.
Mia Margaret Marshall.
Anne Marie Arnold.
Addison Grace Mashalik.
Caroline Gray Earls.
Lauren Ann Roos.
Morgan Alyssa Bachman.
Emily Beatty Ennis.
Damon Jeffrey Wiltsey.
Claire Marie Ogden.
Renato Desmond Swan Jr.
Taylor Louise Brown.
Thomas Iwas Albachu.
Candace Linnea Walson.
Dominic Michael Ferrito.
Maya A. Friedman.
Richard Michael Brett III.
Sydney Morgan Stone.
Jillian Marie Aville.
Caroline Elizabeth Jane Mason.
Ashley Christina Graysick.
Maria Grace Davy.
Sean Kago Beatty.
Lindsay Ray Lois.
Riley Lynn Remuni.
Dingwei Liu.
Manuela Kruga Monteroso.
Beja Rain Marino.
Kelsey Diane Vinyon.
Michaela Elizabeth Pettis.
Gabrielle Aaron Schneider.
Juliana Christine Marnell.
Hunter Catherine Schisler.
Brooke Isabella Reeves.
Ian Francis Geese.
Ellen Doris Miller.
Brian William Bulger.
Nadia May Bingham.
Santiago Arenas.
Megan Ashley Yancher.
Jack Thomas Johnson.
Seamus Flynn Cochran.
John A. Yormick.
Anthony James Santa Emma.
Carter Liam Breslow.
Christopher I. Reynolds Jr.
Mary Claire Smith.
Callahan Fitzpatrick Wade Cowles.
Charlotte Rode Whittier.
Joseph Andrew Stagnero.
Marissa Regina Rotolo.
Harris Alexander Caruso.
Cade Gawley.
Grace Marie Gaston.
Ethan Joe.
Sophia Nicole DiPasquale.
Amelia Grace Blackard.
Samika Vishal Saste.
Neela Louise Azadi.
Catherine Cook Rushi.
Mamie McDowell Calmer.
Rachel Renee Inglecave.
Andrea Nicole Hochschild.
Elizabeth Sawyer Meyer.
Connor Thomas Cahill.
Elise Kaylee Fisher.
Charles Brian Johnstone.
Noelle Elizabeth Nakarados.
William Charles Lash.
Josie Ella Parent.
Isaac Swagger.
Isha Parashar Josie.
Julia Quigley.
Emily Ann Fitzgerald.
Marisa Noli.
Medha Vitedi Jala.
Olivia Marie Jordan.
Maya Elizabeth Fresca.
Kate Elizabeth Stevens.
Grace Lee Stiller.
Megan Emily Kennedy.
Isabella Grace Osberg.
Allison Lynn DiProfio.
Berta Mata E. Marine.
Sarah Renee Flowers.
Sarah Zalukar.
Mia Elise Ratliff.
Nishitha Saravinan.
Griffin Blacker Boothby.
Corey Lynn Milburn.
Nolan Michael Cucci.
Madison M. Sisler.
Ethan Michael Espadini.
Chloe McKenna Rickson.
Kennedy Patrice Cook.
Whitney Benjamin Tavonian.
Miranda Nicole Jagunuk.
Henry Mills.
Natalie Marie Doran.
Lauren Elizabeth Satterley.
Lauren Halperin.
Emma Josephine Bukite.
Catherine Gilly.
Alexis C. Megary.
Victoria Annaline Koss.
Gavin Scott McGonigal.
Christopher Robert Buckizo.
Elliot Glenn Brooks.
Theodore Lindsay Ehrig.
Madalia Hinshut.
Kieran Elizabeth Delvecchio.
Ella Marie Brokamp.
Valerie Catherine Maynor.
Lucy Margaret Sweeney.
Owen Michael Hewitt.
Lily Catherine Bear.
Addison Lee Deco.
Carly Isabel Mayhew.
Kaylin Ann Cook Porter.
Maya Louise Svek.
Janeka Blue Pakazi Y. Hawkins.
Lauren Ivy Fry.
Lauren Alexis Horvath.
Ileana Christine Makadeg.
Liliana Elizabeth Galloway.
Lily Downing Schlaubaum.
Sid Ray Flowers.
Sydney Spencer Survey.
Riley Elizabeth Crabtree.
Gabriela Priovolas.
Rebecca Rose Gehrig.
Madeline Kenny.
Robert Charles Sagan.
Carrie Madeline McKeon.
Nathaniel James Hall.
Sienna Laughlin Pack.
Gianna Iko DeLander.
Kayla Marie Prosser.
Sophia Rose Ioli.
Margaret Ellen Stock.
Emmanuel Faye Quase.
Mackenzie Dudon Reed.
Katrina Suzanne Giannotta.
Erin Grace Sapakovitz.
Emma Gibbs.
Nicholas William Barrows.
Sophie J. Hurley.
Emily Nicole Rinker.
Luke Michael Shaw.
Jack Robert Herzig.
Armani Janaya Brown.
Fiona Carolyn Smith.
Mia Danielle Baker.
Natalie J. Vogt.
Violet Sullivan.
Matthew Michael Bocabella.
Cora Ann Brown.
Tanner Aiden Thompson.
Emily Renee Smith.
William Patrick Teeters.
Margot Ann Carlson.
Sydney Marie Fannin.
Ariana Maria Coulis.
Claire Elise Huff.
Gabrielle William Hannert.
Lindsay Elizabeth Warren.
Amelie Hamlin.
Madison Haley Burton.
Emma Elizabeth Deshay.
Hope Catherine McNichol.
Kylie Mullis.
Marjorie Irene Brown.
Julia Brianna Moore.
Julie Anna Probert.
Meredith Gwen Perkins.
Vittorio Richard Saloto.
Julia Winter Beaumont.
Logan McKay.
Kyara Kelleher.
Jared Nicholas Medvich.
Logan Kunk.
Mitchell Alexander Sefton.
Alex Richard Ambro.
Chad Kiburu Marara.
Carter Matthew Vonderla.
Chloe Eleanor McKinney.
Arlena Marie Dunkel.
Matthew Kenneth Lodge.
Allison Renee Barr.
Matthew David Gant.
Caden Lane Dusky.
Claire Bridget Chambers.
Catherine Glennis Coxhead.
Katie Jane Richardson.
Alexandra A. Maida.
Margot Stalter Lawson.
Mackenzie Elizabeth Marie Randall.
Catherine Mariana Wells.
Josiah Cruzan.
Trevor James Bowerman.
Mia Isabella Schwartz.
Zachary Christian Straka.
Maria Catherine Adomo.
Evan Che Stefanik.
Joshua Ryan Schreiber.
Audrey Denise Lorigan.
Christopher Michael Bassick.
Jacob Jude Makar.
Ryan Demeter.
Dawson Jacob Goss.
Gabriella Elizabeth Nurato.
Ashley Nicole Wasarki.
Elena Calisi.
Lexi K. Neal.
Evelyn Catherine Morrison.
Caroline Michelle Comisford.
Abigail Ray Haverkos.
Ava Grace Kovacevic.
Sophia Renee Myers.
Ryan Thomas Przinski.
Gabrielle Monet Bird.
Ethan Jacob Wasson.
Mia B. Fritz.
Tara Elizabeth Pullet.
Madison Marie Newberry.
Alyssa Marie Rosa.
Selena Offneat.
Camille Brianna Hawley.
Cecilia Rose Meinking.
Fiorella Nicole Segarra Bolivar.
Cole Henry Kubish.
Alicia Catrice Wavinia Damboki.
Maria Garcia Hernandez.
Julia Ann Beardsley.
Travis Flynn Fuelhart.
Mallory June Nelson.
Aiden Chilton.
Allison Marie Culligan.
Emily Rose Sherman.
Mitchell James Peters.
Lena Marie Canestros.
Hayden Hugh Tackett.
Madeline Elise Black.
Iona Maria Stewart.
Gwendolyn Grace Clark.
Vanessa May Wynn.
Tyler Caleb Figs.
Evelyn Deanne Perez Rose.
Jeremy Joseph Ethan.
Alexander Elliott Katariri.
Noah David Becker.
Melinda Elizabeth Barman.
Owen Cleff.
Chemai Eunice.
Molly Martha Johnston.
Ashley Marie Robertson.
Madeline Claire Holcomb.
Rihanna Zakshevsky.
Grace Evelyn Kimmerly.
Guergana Nikolaeva Stembolieva.
John Frederick Fazio.
Chloe Love Petrel.
Karina Lynn Holenkamp.
Sarah Elizabeth Luce.
Rafaela Valen Torres Pinel.
Jack Benin Leibowitz.
Marie Faith Robison.
Mary Carolyn Gabriel.
Allison Mackenzie Reed.
Are you? Rachel Elizabeth Rook.
Natalie Lacey Harrison.
Claire Kane Kavanaugh.
Meredith M. Dillon.
Emma Catherine Blomberg.
Yasmin Duffeld.
Holly Leanne Barker.
Marie Janelle Obergar Olegario.
Julia Elizabeth Smallcombe.
Madeline Amelia Maloney.
Alyssa Carolyn King.
Cameron May Ging Cook.
Stephen Griffin Overback.
Regan Chafee.
Madeline Nicole Iden.
Camille Maria Scalera.
Casey Dennison Turman.
Margaret Anita Etzler.
Samuel M. Norton.
Grace Catherine Dyer.
Charles Douglas St. Meyer.
Alyssa Claire McGinnis.
Ryan Edwin Turner.
Jeffrey Lee Clark II.
Emma Riley Owen.
Nathaniel Darner.
Sydney Ann Smith.
Luke Washburn Warrington.
Caitlin Noel Zuck.
Jack Thomas Christian.
Mary Catherine Creedler.
Samuel John Wurst.
Mackenzie Nicole Johnson.
James Alexander Montanus.
Caitlin Marie Feathers.
Inktul Batkuya.
Sarah Ann Mills.
Con Lin Win.
Kylie McKenna Pearson.
Emily Grace Abbas.
Autumn Marie Offenberger.
Zichuan Hong.
Elijah George Thorpe.
Jeffrey Thomas Fletcher.
Joshua Thomas Philpott.
William Miller Bennett.
Nathaniel James French.
Grace Elizabeth Benson.
Andrew James Murray.
Danielle V. Riva.
Andrew David Whitson.
Victoria Jewel Kaminsky.
Louis Gregory Thomas.
Haley Reese Hopp.
Stone Cole McDowell.
Nicholas Eugene Jarosevich.
Megan Ann McDonald.
Ilsa Miller.
Laura Elizabeth Labar.
Brody Robert Morris.
Logan Xander Mullen.
Connor O'Hara.
Grayson Michael Ritz.
Daniel Todd Milders.
Hunter Noble Shannon.
Emma Kirsta Johnson.
Ryan Bain Sullivan.
Chloe Ann Hudak.
Grayson Matthew Young.
Madeline Marie Slater.
Jacob Nathan Mostrovsky.
Lucas Gabrielle Orlando.
Alex John Anhorn.
Sydney L. Mason.
Juliana Fisher Smith.
Patrick Fricker Houlihan.
Abigail Claire Mann.
Luke Thomas England.
Ava Rose Ritzy.
Kenneth Drew DeCrosta.
Savannah Elizabeth Skaggs.
Grace Madeline Ankeny.
Cassandra Lynn Salva.
Carmen Plitikosovich.
Deborah Toluaope Olabode.
John Spencer Manzak.
Emily Christine Meadows.
Dana Hua Quayle.
Caleb Alonzo Nelson.
Audrey Lynn Petrius.
Liam Scott Stevens Woolery.
Carmela Ruby Gardner.
Melissa Danielle Malone.
Claire Leah Radke.
Courtney Ryan Kelly.
Bryce William Smerick.
Catherine Olivia Loftus.
Christian Harry Kodig.
Anna Catherine Cirkland.
Wyatt Thomas Smith.
Sarah Grace Leroy.
Maxwell David Nelson.
Shelby Anna Carolyn Cook.
Joseph Bissett, Jr.
Jenna Christine Hamilton.
Harrison Maxwell Browning.
Savannah Hope Perry.
Kellen Joseph Burns.
Congratulations. Carver C. Spangle. Congratulations.
Jordan Kathleen Ritterbeck.
Caleb Matthew McMullen.
McKenna Chesafrini.
Angelica Lynn Vasilatos.
Lily Grace Effinger.
Cole Byrne Bewick.
Lillian Grace Van Skyver.
Michael Fox Sekulich.
Natalie Sue Polly.
Valentina Santiago.
Mia Pelez.
Elizabeth Audrey Frank.
Caitlin Spira.
Santiago Andres Rivera Brogan.
Scout Hofer.
Bronwyn Carter Graham.
Carly Renee Hopping.
Senya Rai.
Matthew James Fry.
Meher Sakib Khan.
Samantha Lynn Ruby.
Sarah Caitlin Tabak.
Chloe Rain Fielder.
Riley Anna Smith.
Jonathan Charles Biley.
Zoe Allen.
Kyle Joseph Davis.
Zoe Juana Anita Flores Ra.
Maxwell R. Ford.
Catherine Grace Schmidt.
Alexis Kennedy Wilson.
Madison Grace Kirkland.
Layla Nidia.
Sarah Marie Scott.
Nicholas Sumner Bertrand.
Grace Carol Grover.
Catherine Elise Jennings.
Haven J. McAlexander.
Anai Maya Johnson.
Ginevra Pascali.
Marina Giboa.
Cameron Helena Mitchell.
Uriel Madeline Arthur.
Mary Yang.
Adia Johnson.
Thomas Patrick Reed.
Reagan Fry.
Diana Olivia Sewell.
Alina Rose Cherkasky.
Mary Jane Lagasse Airy.
Amber Maher Yusraf.
Megan Elizabeth Wesselkamper.
Lindsay Yates.
Ava Shariazad Krieger.
Olivia Lauren Evans.
Lucy Catherine Youngblood.
Emily Dudayetz.
Ellie Sean Mason.
Aiden James Cockburn.
Lily Rose Carnes.
Madeline Elizabeth Lepard.
Graciela Elizabeth Lortz.
Olivia Alice Berger.
Abigail Marie Poole.
Kyle John Nathaniel Ginsberg.
Natasha Lee Bullock.
Anna Elizabeth Callis.
Sarah Lara Robb.
Ethan David Corey.
Henry Nicholas Bullerisi.
Canon Radina Jean.
Joel Christian Regrith.
Taylor Jasmine Hedrick.
Adam Christopher Sedlecki.
Beatrix Eleanor Jones.
Nicholas Churchill Hibbler.
Shannon Christine Albert.
Lauren Kennedy Miller.
Elizabeth Carlita Carnes.
Ryan David Rosenberg.
Danielle May Floriani.
Honora Pamier O'Brien.
Ryan Charles Nardella.
Anna Claire O'Donnell.
Owen Thomas Dossett.
Connor Robert Martin.
Michaela Kinsey Campbell.
Grace Violet Ostrick.
Marissa Lynn Gillow.
Elizabeth Grace Martin.
Luke Masuo Yamashiro.
Reagan Elaine Steverson.
Zoe May Klein.
Owen Reed Young.
Kennedy Sophia Brewer.
William Gregory Rank.
Avery Elizabeth Hasselby.
Oliver H. Kleinberg.
Cooper John Holum.
Mitch Allen Brewer.
Austin Allen Yoxheimer.
Andrew Glenn Douglas.
Esther K. Lee.
Caleb Stroll.
Abigail Shue Dedrick.
Andrew Thomas Reisinger.
Jackson Charles Duncan.
Riley Maureen Myers.
Danielle John Cerrone.
Olivia Kathleen Pastori.
Emma Sahara Jeffers.
Anna Marissa Davis Wells.
Sumit Kumar Tripanith.
Liliana Alexandra Wanshi Carver.
Leanne Virginia Craby.
Palmer Middleton Lee.
Emily Rose Colasar.
Samantha Ellen Tiemann.
Ezra Patrick Eccles.
Jordan Toheri Mtui.
Tyler Scott Blanker.
Madeline Riley Staub.
Jacob Michael Hurley.
Rachel Marie Jones.
Daniel Gomez.
Stephanie Quinn Schroeder.
Abby May Griffith.
Olivia Kate Austenmacher.
Rianne Louise McDermott.
Amelia Kathleen Peters.
Ella Catherine Boat.
Parker Addison Somerville.
Anna Elizabeth Christie.
Arby Valeri.
Gianna Nicole Labiento.
Grace Ann Younger.
Paige Bree Jones.
Ian Scott Watson.
Gabrielle Elizabeth Lynch.
Brody Bronson Kent.
Casey James Carnacchione.
Peter Allen Quick.
Haley K. Butler Rum Weber.
Olivia Roslyn Joyce Myers.
Macy Alexandria No.
Hallie Nicole Grant.
Jenna Vita Caldered.
Natalie Elizabeth Lucci.
Audrey Faye Allen.
Emily Rebecca Bame.
Grace Carolyn Bechtold.
Tiana Grace Benson.
Madeline Durham.
Leah Hannah Hartsberg.
Natalie Marie Dirksen.
Joseph Peter Santati.
Cassandra Rain Kaiser.
Hayden Alexander Hale.
Alexia Dudones.
Sydney Lauren Watson.
Morgan Rose Rutkowski.
Caitlin Nicole Wong.
Lily Carolyn Draga.
Catherine Victoria Lindauer.
Eleanor Bell Call.
Rafal Shekluki.
Erin Maureen Gorney.
Joshua A. Mason.
Rebecca Nicole Christie.
Chris Wen.
Julia Elizabeth Huff.
Bodie Reese Wamsley.
Andrew David Brown.
Jane Marie Kelligan.
Nathan Andrew Hogshead.
Gina Rose Scarlato.
Williams Carter Joseph.
Carolyn Ann Round.
Aiden Cron.
Peyton Catherine Morse.
Elijah James Moncrief.
Preston Jameson Sanders.
Logan David Taylor Pierce.
Chloe Elise Wacombe.
Jared David Jetter.
Sophia K. Miltonberger.
Sydney Ray Bell.
Eliza Grace Seibert.
Kai Lillian Green.
Kelsey Morgan Roach.
Haley Renee Fisk.
Alexandra Anastasia Hayes.
Benjamin David Parker Dubin.
Madeline Cross.
Allison Charlotte Hilliard.
Benjamin Bear Vogt.
Amber Nicole Kimmel.
Grace August Myers.
Kaylee Nicole Gregory.
Audrey Catherine Manella.
Emily Christine Stack.
Michelle Valentina Abata.
Ella Marie Rice.
Catherine Marie Worthman.
Grace Catherine Ames.
Anna Elizabeth Wright.
Madeline Elizabeth Ames.
Charlotte Marie Cutright.
Natalie Bloom Huff.
Jaden Reed Horg.
Margot Marie Eubank.
Lauren Elaine Rudd.
Isabella Tova Fordyce.
Owen Richard Moffett.
Reed Andrew Porter.
Shangyuan Liu.
Jake Raymond Grubber.
Jackson Andrew Miller.
Owen Charles Chambers.
Shelby Renee Osterday.
Ryan Christopher Kelly.
Dipshika Oli.
Megan Elizabeth Flynn.
Haley Marie Zachariah.
Tyler Kennedy Brazelton.
Anna Marguerite Supine.
Madison Peyton Hayden.
Sonia Marie Flynn.
Nicholas Patrick Hahn.
Ethan Michael Metzger.
Evan Sterling Davies.
Ryan William Felix.
Connor Bradley McClelland.
Preston Ray Lawson.
Francis Wilcox Bernard.
Aiden Bryant Schmeling.
Matthew James Breedis II.
Mackenzie Ryan Smith.
Brittany Nicole Corwin.
Stephanie Emma Paget.
Jake Allen White.
Madison Rose Patsiadli.
Emma Pearl Kabrisky Guskill.
Sheridan Deanna Smith.
Reese Russell Howell.
Grace Elizabeth Kroger.
Devin Xavier Anderson.
Zachary Wayne Lawson.
Colin Joseph Feller.
Megan Sona Paul.
Dominic Milton Dukakis.
Maeve Catherine Stacy.
Colin Alexander Varan.
Gwyneth Louise Wolf.
Emma Brooke Long.
Harrison Rao.
Ariana Marie Erkman.
Annabelle Mihi Ryu.
Tanakvia Painway.
Caitlin Elizabeth Lord.
Garen John Kavanaugh.
Haley Elizabeth Wiseman.
Zixin Chen.
Maya Virginia Clark Beadle.
Kin Sato.
Piper Riley Nicely. Piper.
Mia Higa.
Claire
Miyu
Olivia
Higa.
Dehart.
Dante Christian Burton.
Sophie Renee Wallace.
Billy Browning.
Trudy Jane Schellenberger.
Joseph Ryan Julik.
Ava Jane Carey.
Neon Nyman.
John Alexander Moore.
Claire Elise Hampton.
Michael Morin Schaefer.
Brandon Michael Conkey.
Benjamin James Sims.
Jacob Atticus Schneider.
Liam C. Turner.
Joseph Gregory Strauss.
Alexander Joseph Majeski.
Brady Charles Ireland.
Sarah Ann Owens.
Daniel Jacob Flagel.
Mackenzie Luann Sullivan.
Jackson Frederick Kwasniewski.
Reese Nicole Voizard.
Christopher Scott Tabbitt.
Anna Ruth Sklina.
Egan Evans Collier.
Chloe Anna Michelle Henriot.
Sheridan Ramsey Hood.
Rudolph Guy Moes Jr.
Kylie Alyssa Rosie.
Jordan Renee Hammond.
Sophia K. Dawson.
Patience Marie Moss.
Olivia Bobby Mayo Guston.
Isabella M. Davis.
Elena Faye Henley.
Anna Elizabeth Wilson.
Samantha Rose Ice.
Elliot Michael Venerable.
Sadie K. Young.
Eric Reese Tompkins.
Oleg Bondarenko.
Jalen J. B. Rendell.
Shane Kelly Chris.
Elena Michelle Yarwick.
Joshua Donald Donford.
Cade Lydia Tivards.
Madison Delaney Beach.
Julia Mary Richardson.
Haley Jade Stacy.
Layla Margaret Speckert.
Megan Marie Huff.
Mitchell Thomas Bronson.
Ashley Elizabeth Hurley.
Avon Rose Carney.
Hannah Grace Caruth.
Abigail Ruth Showalter.
Morgan K. Hatter.
Margaret Grace Ryan.
Madison Darty.
Ryan Joseph Parker.
Caitlin Francis Jakosh.
Jacob Leonard Risch.
Haley Paige Hammonds.
Miko E. Lenz.
Claire Elizabeth Esposito.
Maya Lauren Mitchell.
Carolyn Stewart Clark.
Catherine Laura Grace Nussbaum.
Caitlin Marie Carlin.
Emma Mackenzie King.
Lane Avery Shivitz.
Abigail Elizabeth Linhart.
Leah Colette Heimball.
Elena Marie Mead.
Catherine Alexandra Gold.
Elena Marie Ziccarelli.
Ricci Pho.
Natalie Brooke Taylor.
Sarah Josiah.
Caitlin Nicole Scheid.
Inde Awa Jalo.
Abigail Elizabeth Meyer.
Rhea Amer Gamari.
Misa George Constanidis.
Shannon Lee Johnson.
Kylie Alexis Matthews.
Kendall Shea Viri Kretzinger.
Jianzhong Wang.
Giselle Sila Aya Prone.
Siyu Liu.
Songhan Duyang.
Wanlu Hu.
Cyrus Ji.
Uxing Chang.
Ji Guao.
Will all the graduates please stand? Hats. I'm not supposed to tell you this, but if you want to throw your hat, now's the time. In a few minutes, have a seat, have a seat. In a few moments, we'll play the alma mater, which can be found on the back of your program. Afterwards, the marshals will lead the platform party, the faculty, and graduates from the stadium floor. During this time, I ask that the audience remain seated until all have recessed. Graduates, here's my parting thought to you. You've been given a wonderful opportunity, a gift. You have been privileged to receive an excellent education from a fine institution. Whatever your next move is, further study, a job, or some adventure you're still figuring out, you will use that education in ways you don't yet know about. As you do so, remember your roots, be curious, and make the world a better place. We are counting on you. Congratulations, class of 2025, and good luck. Now, will you please stand and join me in singing the alma mater?